Was it seduction or illusion? Deception or murder? Nothing is what it seems in a town like Twin Peaks. Starring Kyle MacLachlan, Michael Onkeen, Lara Flynn Boyle, Sherilyn Fenn, and Joan Chen. And now you can fall back into the mystery, or begin your search for the first time every Tuesday night with a new episode hosted by a panel of superfans. Watch live for the audio commentary. No one is innocent in a town like Twin Peaks. National rules in a situation like
All right. Good evening, everyone out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to Live from Sparkwood in 21. This show chronicles the 1990s cult classic Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Joining me on this odyssey are super fans, Last Call Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer. So slide into a booth at the Double R Diner and join us for a damn fine cup of coffee and a heavenly slice of cherry pie as we bring you episode 27, The Path to the Black Lodge. That is, if YouTube, Cosme, and my computer will allow us to do so. I'd like to say hello to some folks in the chat who've been waiting patiently for us to get started. The first one here, FKHC 2005, aka Tim. Faithful Blue Wrench, the bird woman of YouTube. Connie Cleary, check out her second channel, Fluff Check Productions. The tired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Shelby. Friend of the channel, JPRPH1. Friend of the channel, Dee Myers Jr. Host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. Joining us, at least for part of the show, Dad Man Walking, 55. And joining us tonight from Rumble, Samuel Proctor. I'd like to thank everyone joining us tonight on Rumble and Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. My fellow co-hosts are waiting patiently backstage, so I will bring them on. Last call, Troy Pacelli.
hello, hello.
She of this, was still smoldering avatar, both her actual avatar and the one that she's using for the show tonight, Netters Network.
Good evening. Well, yeah, it's like last night I was a blonde, a smoldering blonde, and tonight I'm another smoldering blonde. So last night I launched 1,000 ships, and tonight I'm launching a bunch of cups of coffee and cherry pie.
Yeah, exactly.
and a man who I'm sure wonders constantly just how the hell he got shanghaied into this show, Aged Boomer.
I don't get it.
Of course you don't get
I
it.
say at the end of every episode, I don't get it. It's weird. You got this little guy doing a dance after this girl dies. It's just weird. It's weirdness on this show. Then she ends up in a knob on a drawer, and I'm just supposed to accept it.
In all fairness, this isn't the weirdest thing we've watched on our various channels. I wouldn't have been able to say that about 25 years ago, but nowadays, yeah, there's some weird stuff we've seen.
All right. But this is a very special episode tonight, folks. We are not actually watching Twin Peaks. We are actually going to watch the first 2 episodes of Doctor Who, season Who Gives a Shit.
No.
So, no. Just kidding. Yes.
No.
We are going to bring you some actual entertainment. And
No kidding.
that is tonight's episode of Twin Peaks.
Watching old John Pertwee episodes on Tubi, I'm fine.
I did there was a members only stream today for Midnight's Edge, the various Midnight's Edge channels, and I hopped on and I chatted with him for a little while and left because I was in the middle of my workday. Lester San Jose came on after me, and he said the nicest things about Monday Night at the Movies and last night's in particular and whatnot. And but it was in the context of the topic there that they had gotten on was how Midnight's Edge isn't doing a lot of Star Trek or Doctor Who or comments on a lot of that stuff anymore because nobody cares. They're noticing that their watch time for those videos is in the toilet, so they're not even bothering anymore. And Lester was saying, yeah, it's great to be able to go back and watch, older films, whether it's ones that you loved, when you were younger, or ones that you'd wanted to see and hadn't seen. Because, I mean, normally I'm not the type that says, well, if it's older, it's better. But with entertainment lately, it kind of is. And honestly, that's kind of what this show is all about. Live from Sparkwood in 21. Going back and watching one particular series. In a way, it's a franchise in and of itself, right? I mean, because we're also talking about the books, the music, the fan experience. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that goes beyond just the individual episodes. I just sent you just got a disc from us that yes. Netter and I had picked up at, I don't think I even told you the story behind it. One of the last Twin Peaks festivals we went to, I think it was back in 2013, 2014. One of the fans had done this fan film, and it's all filmed in the Snoqualmie area, North Bend, and whatnot. So it's all filming locations from Twin Peaks, including some of the people that were involved with Twin Peaks, including Jennifer Lynch. But what he says that it is, I'll read what it says here. It's called Beyond the Meanwhile. Mm-hmm. It is a reproduction of an actual nightmare experienced after a 24-hour marathon viewing the entire Twin Peaks television series. It was filmed in various locations during the annual Twin Peaks Festival in Washington State, as well as locations throughout Texas and Louisiana. This film is a tribute to the work of David Lynch and the world of Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Special thanks to Jennifer Lynch, Al Strobel, Jan Darcy, Josh Eisenstadt, James Marshall, and Phoebe Augustine. So, yeah, those are the people that appear in it, by the way. And if you want, we can play that one day after season 2 wraps up, which is going to be happening in, counting tonight, 3 weeks.
Right on.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, it's all good. right. So that is Beyond the Meanwhile. I have that title right. Okay, so coming soon after we complete season 2, Beyond the Meanwhile.
And that's not one you have to wait on, Steven. You can go ahead and watch it. This is not anything like there's any spoilers or anything.
No, I didn't think there would be. Yeah. All right. I am being very careful around certain channels and certain broadcasts because I'm curious because it's Twin Peaks and I want to know, but then again I have to hold back because I go, oh, they could be talking about season 3, even though I do have something. There is a theory that I did have, and when we get to season 3, I'll go deeper into it. I'm pretty sure is on track. So
you have the benefit of years of experience with David Lynch's various productions. I think you, like myself, kind of understand where he's coming from, to the extent that anyone really can. That is, and you're analytical and you're observant, and honestly, I don't think he makes it that difficult to understand. No. There are actual lines within, especially within the span of season 3, where I think he actually outright explains everything. And we'll talk about that, of course, when we get there.
The butler did it?
Yes.
Yes, actually.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Roy,
Kind of.
why aren't you Billy Zane tonight?
I like being me and welcoming people to Twin Peaks.
All right. It's fine.
I don't know.
Well,
All
you don't
right.
think he looks like Billy Zane there?
I do. I look like Billy Zane more like closer to now, yeah.
Hey, as the old expression goes, God made a few perfect heads and the rest he covered with hair, right?
There we go. There we go. Well, it's more like I'm so used to things going over my head that, it's frictionless now.
All right.
All right.
I do believe now is as good time as any to get us started here. Yep. So everybody please head on over to Cosme, who has not yet done so, and join us for episode 27, The Path to the Collage.
Yep.
All right. And we... Yes?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm ready.
Did I miss something? Okay. All right. Syncing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 to make like ready to go.
Back to Flappy. I have to say, he was kind of cornered by the producers after the incident the other week, and they basically said, you're done. We want you gone. And he got very upset. Tears were flowing from his eyes, and he says, "Don't you do it! I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go." And so they kept them on.
And Louis Gossett Jr. said, "I'll vouch for him."
He was there. He came in to give the word, apparently.
Yeah. I don't care about any of that as long as Deborah Winger was there. That's all I care about. David Lynch is, you see people that work with all the same actors and people all the time. David Lynch is clearly one of them. And I've mentioned previously, he brought back everyone that he could bring back for season 3. Even people that had passed, he found ways to honor them within the span of the show. And I didn't realize this until I was just kind of going through things for the next couple episodes. Some people from earlier in the show make some return appearances in the next couple episodes.
It's always the ominous music.
Oh, that's right. This is where we left off.
Dead Ramey's not doing so hot.
I was just going to say, it's hard to tell if he's dead or stoned. With him, you never know, right?
Could go either way.
Looks like he's wearing the helmet from Spaceballs.
Yep.
They're going to wreck that gazebo. What are they doing here?
No, they're taking it down the stairs.
Okay.
Not over the edge.
But I want to
big
know how the
chess
killer
piece.
got in there to begin with. With the crate.
Oh, no, Leon. Leon could just bring it in there. He's tough, right?
Oh,
I don't think he's that tough. And I think he's a little shaky,
Leo.
too, with that head wound.
And considering there are like, what, 5-6 people carrying that right now?
He probably knew the way the Egyptians built the pyramids. That's the how he used.
Oh, okay,
he
okay,
used,
yeah.
You know, that's
And see, that's the impressive thing, right? It's all part of the plan, right? It's impressive. It does cause you to go, how the hell?
Hey, that guy.
Yeah.
Billy
yeah,
Garson. Holy smokes.
Yeah, he's in all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bigfoot. Rest in peace, Joxer the Mighty.
Andy.
Andy's crying.
It's kind of funny because Andy's crying and this kid here is laughing.
Yeah, at first I thought it was the kid crying, and then I saw Andy. I'm like, oh, no.
What does that mean?
Well, Earl had chastised Dale
Cooper, yeah.
for not playing by the rules. So now apparently he's not either.
But more donuts again.
Uh-huh. There is the place that I was saying that they got the donuts from in Snoqualmie. They have good, fresh baked donuts, but the cake donuts, the like fritter style donuts, just amazing.
She's talking about choosing the father of her child. It's like, just have a DNA test done because you can do that at this point.
True.
Absolutely nothing. Keith Richards, cockroaches, styrofoam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Maybe in the next season of Fallout we'll get a giant zombie Keith Richards.
Funny.
Mold never dies either.
They used to use styrofoam in video game console boxes. Now they don't anymore, and it was always better for keeping stuff packed. Is this the Chronicles of Billy Zane again? Oh, there's the Pine Weasel. See the Pine Weasel?
Yep, yep. So his office, That piece of artwork behind him is in one of the side dining rooms. Oh, that's right. That's the room they used for his office. Never mind. Yeah. It has the fireplace on the one side and whatnot. Wow.
Let sleeping dogs lie. Right?
Yep, exactly. Oh, you guys are starting already with the current episode memes.
Reminds me a lot of Audrey Horne. Oh,
yeah, exactly. They could almost be sisters.
I know, just stop, man. How old is the Doc?
Probably in his 70s or so.
No.
60s.
Probably late 50s, early 60s.
Really? That's older to me.
They said people looked older back then because they actually went out into the sun.
Yeah,
So
that
the
could
snake
be.
pooped up all the
You
time.
might be right. He's 69. Okay.
Hear that fan
He
going?
still plays.
I'm sure if we looked it up on the wiki or something, there's probably a good estimate there.
I say there's probably no air conditioning out there, is there? Oh no, wait, that's not the. Where is she?
I don't know. Where would they have records for stuff like this? She's.
Well,
Oh, this is probably her attic.
Yeah.
Looking at her birth certificate.
And the father's space was blank.
Hey, Nate. Needs a good storyteller. Against my better judgment, I try to watch not Doctor Who this weekend,
No.
and I need a stream to wash the bad taste out of my mouth. Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, my friend.
We like Hawk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say on the scales of moral compasses of characters in this show, I'd say he's like right at the top.
Yeah. He's like Dale in a way, yeah.
I'd say he's a good head above Dale.
Yeah.
In the morality, levels.
He's going down to the rainforest.
Mm.
Hope he doesn't run into any cannibals.
Or rain.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You can see Billy Zane's already starting to lose his hair in the front, which is why the bangs kind of flop over his forehead.
Wow.
Because you could see that widow's peak kind of forming.
Yeah, you're right. I, of course, wouldn't have thought of that at the time.
Well, I didn't until I saw a picture of him bald now.
Yep.
So remind me, does he come back for season 3 or?
Who, Hawk? Yeah. Hawk
Billy
comes
Zane.
back. Oh, Billy Zane? I don't recall that he did. I don't think so.
And hello, Orville Nation.
Hey, BJ. That's interesting. They mentioned Doug Puzz.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Geez, with you guys, we don't even have to watch the episode. We can just watch the chat for your memes. Well,
I've never eaten red herring. Can you eat it?
I've only ever had it pickled.
When this guy was talking to Major Briggs, I thought that was Michael Onkeen because he's got the same hairstyle,
Yeah, a
and
little
stuff, the
bit,
same
yeah.
build. And then when Michael Onkeen came in, this guy was next to him. I'm like, whoa, is that his brother?
You like that, breadcrumbs?
Yeah.
Well, and with him walking in the woods, and occasionally disappearing, yeah, you kind of do need to lay down a trail.
You know who would eat those breadcrumbs?
Flappy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And we were all telling him, you're eating too much bread. It's not good for you.
Well, he lives his life as he sees fit.
Well, he was using that bread as a booze sponge. I can't say I blame him for that. So for those of you that want to do a deep dive on the lore, there is an incredible amount of analysis that fans have done regarding that wall, that etching that they were just showing, the symbols and so forth. And Flappy.
Yep, there's cherry pie.
Whoa. So, her hand's not right.
Except for I wouldn't say kick some butt. I don't think Bobby there would make a very good husband. He's too much of a sleep around type of guy.
I think he's trying to get himself together, though.
By still sleeping with a married woman.
True.
You know.
And Hello Lee Mist. And also Logical Spock.
Welcome, welcome. Mm. The timing.
Yeah, my friend Gordon would like to ask you.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, do we know why that one woman's hand was shaking like that? Because she appeared to be in pain and it was shaking crazy.
I can only speculate.
I
We don't
don't
get a
remember.
definitive answer on that one.
There's something wrong with the cherries in the cherry pie.
I think it has to do with the coffee.
They were cursed. Yeah. He's so charming.
Yeah.
What's a gam?
Legs.
Right.
Like,
I totally expect him to pull a Tim Conway and in the middle of a sentence just start, snoring.
Oh, I thought she already married him. Okay, never mind.
You like the statue of the pine weasel?
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
second I thought it was two squirrels dancing.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe I'm confused.
No, you were right. You were right.
all the time.
Yeah, I live in Twin Peaks, for crying out loud. The fact that he asked her that specifically, he knew the answer already.
Donna just looks ticked.
Yeah.
She has resting bee face.
Yeah.
Shelley actually looks scared.
Well, now she knows that her
Yeah.
husband's involved in it. That just amps it up for her.
Evil or evil?
Evil, yeah, exactly.
What do you care?
I don't think he's even clued into what's going on around him.
Well, he took the taser, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is funny.
Leo?
This is so funny.
Like, what the heck?
He does it twice.
Because he figures if he pushes the button and gets shot.
And third time.
3.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That's right, John. It's not a phaser, Leo.
It's amazing how people are able to just carry those 2 small suitcases back in the day, because I never could.
And they obviously so light. They don't have anything in them.
Yeah.
Who's not?
That was shocking. Yes.
Spokeswoman,
Yeah.
please.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Yeah, Billy Zane. They usually don't ask for characters by their actors' names.
No, I was kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
So you deliberately kept me there so I'd miss him.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of, yeah. She's up in room 237, Pete.
Does
Wow.
she know Pete Murtaugh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because she just said you.
Of course you are.
Well, who isn't?
Dankeschön, darling, Dankeschön.
Here we go.
Yep.
What was going on here?
We got cows.
That's unusual.
Oops.
That means that Leo's a horse's you know what, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, booty.
And of course, Wyndham Earl knows that Briggs was involved in the project, the Blue Rose project.
However,
Yep.
What?
this Breaking Bad prequel is weird.
Weird. Didn't Norma remove the sorry. What just happened there? Is that an omen?
Possibly.
Did I do that?
I looked down for a second. Did she drop it or just miss the bucket?
I'm not sure if she dropped it or knocked it over, but it was indirectly related to them kissing, and let's just say it's foreshadowing.
Nope. Is that it?
He's like, okay, hold on.
Hey.
He's like, he's laughing because he's like, you're going to have the FAA on you. Driving out on a runway like that.
Okay. I'll be back tomorrow.
Well,
yeah.
it's your jet.
He's like, okay.
Aw,
He's got the teary
that's
eyes.
sweet.
He's such a romantic.
He is.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
His hand.
Yeah.
So he showed emotion. His hand started hurting.
Possibly.
Cooper and what's her name kissed. That was an emotional thing.
We'll get Mulder and Scully and SG-1 on this immediately. Canadians.
North Carolina.
What'd you ask them about it for then?
Right?
Asshole.
Is that truth serum? Or is that poison?
Well, I thought it was The World Is Not Enough. That'll be another show.
Talk about that Friday.
Okay.
When Jupiter is in line with Mars, 'tis the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Sorry. We'll get RoboCop on it right away.
I don't think he'd be able to handle that. He'd just shoot his gun at it. Oh, I see.
Fair
It's
enough.
the
Well, his lawyer was no great shakes either.
It's like she's like, open the box, open the box, open the box. And then when he tries to open the box, she's like trying to take it back from him.
What's in there?
Another box.
Good night, Tim.
What?
He's done with the puzzles, and now he's got. Another box.
It's unobtainium.
Good night,
Unobtainium.
FKHC 2005.
That was a little on the nose.
Yeah.
Unobtainium. James Cameron. A little on the nose.
If it helps, I was originally going to say kryptonite.
Yeah, well, that would have to be in a lead case.
Well, if you received one of those boxes, you're being led somewhere. That's a great interruption.
Boy.
Yeah. Is this thing on?
Okay, socking her into John, saying Pop Goes to Weasel is out.
Yeah, exactly. Ow.
Consarn it, Dougie!
Okay, how did the microphone get up again? The guy lowered it.
He was probably screwing with
He
it.
probably moved it. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's moving.
Yeah,
There
Danny's
is.
going to be seeing the other side for sure.
What's going on here?
No, no. I like that one, John. When we kiss, ooh, fire.
Fell asleep.
Walk with me. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the jet's still there.
What gets me is he waited for her.
No, he's gone.
Because he's a gentleman.
I know. His lurch clock cock blocking? No. No, he's trying to warn Dale.
Yeah, but did you do it?
He's not wrong.
Right.
I've never been fishing. I wouldn't know.
He is just a nice guy, you know?
Yeah.
He's
Meanwhile-
not. Yeah, exactly.
What does it mean? What does?
Okay, what the heck is wrong with Leo?
We've been asking that since he was first introduced in the show. Netter, you got to get Troy to take you fishing. We've never gone. Have we ever gone? Well,
No, I've never been fishing in my life.
did we not do any fishing when we were out on the lake with the kois?
No, I got sun poisoning
Yeah.
and seasick.
Yeah, you did. That's true.
Oh, look out.
But whatever it is, Cooper's not allowed to do it because the Giants said no.
Yeah, we all know there's something wrong here.
Yes, yes, that was incredibly on the nose. Yes. And my personal opinion, I think the shaking hands is directly related to the Giant returning, the warning, Dougie saying there's something wrong here. You know, the ominous music.
Everybody
Dark
losing your
trees.
Jedi powers.
Right, exactly. And I spoke too fast. I dramatically wanted to end now. Right hand coming out of the Black Lodge.
That hand looks familiar.
Yeah, it does. That jeans jacket.
Bye-bye.
It's curtains for this guy.
Yeah. Well, it's curtains for someone, that's for sure. So, the return of Bob. Now, this is where we start the deep dive. Bob had inhabited. Bob is a spirit, right? So, going pure lore, spirits, in order to be in this realm, need to be tethered to somebody. Every denizen of the Black Lodge has some real world analog. Now, Bob's tether was Leland. And he was trying to move from Leland to Laura. Laura was willing to sacrifice herself to prevent that from happening. When Leland died, and Laura was already dead, Bob became untethered. He returned to the Black Lodge. Now he's remerging. The most common fan theory for the handshaking, it's two-part. First, when you see... How is it Dale put it? You know, when two events occur regarding the same subject of inquiry, one must, pay careful attention. What do all the people have in common that had right hands shaken? Well, they're coffee drinkers. They had just been drinking coffee. That's one thing. Getting kind of ahead of where we are in the episodes, something that kind of comes up in a later episode. I don't remember if it's the next one or the last episode. And in Fire Walk With Me, there's a corollary drawn between coffee and like motor oil. People say that when the Black Lodge opens, they smell something like burning oil. And whereas coffee can be thought of as the lubricant that people need to get going in the morning and keep things running smoothly, and if they don't have it, their hands start to shake, right? Caffeine withdrawal. But I think some red herrings, although it's worth mentioning, is the fact that in Fire Walk with Me, both Laura and Teresa Banks talk about their left hands going numb, which most people associate with the ring that is featured in Fire Walk with Me. Again, left hand. Symbolism of left hand being evil, right hand being good. It's on your left shoulder that the devil sits. It's on the right shoulder that God sits. But it's the right hand that's shaking, and it's the right hand that appears from the Black Lodge. People have also tried to make the connection. Again, this is a little bit spoilery for Fire Walk with Me, but we've previously done a Fire Walk with Me watch party together. The one-armed man is missing his left arm, and the little dancing man from another place reveals himself to be the arm. In other words, he is the arm that was cut off from Mike, the other Black Lodge denizen. But again, we're talking about left arms, not right hands, so maybe not connected. But I'm throwing these things out in case, just in case they jog anything for you. My personal theory is that Bob, the shaking hands was an indicator that Bob was returning. Bob is looking for a new tether. He needs one in order to stay in this realm. We don't know who that woman was in the diner. We haven't seen her before. I'm not sure that we see her again. But she could have a whole intricate backstory that could, connect her to the Black Lodge and, make her a good conduit for Bob. Pete could be interesting, right? Consider his connection to Josie and the sawmill, maybe. And boy, Dale. Right? If Bob could get into Dale, that's like the devil tempting Jesus, right? So don't want to give too much away, but that's where my current theory on them, and my theory has changed over the years, but that's currently what my theory is regarding the handshaking. Any other thoughts?
Rainforest.
See, I just figure Rainforest is somewhere far away that he goes to and we don't see him again.
I told you he's going to get eaten by cannibals.
Could be.
I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. We had the major being tortured or interrogated, I should say.
Yep.
Andy cried again. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Right. Well, no, actually, we'll take that one first. I always thought that was kind of silly and dopey, but the more I've thought about Andy, the more I realize that he's very much a kind soul. He's got a great heart, and that's an important characterization for someone within this kind of a thing. It's like bright spot in a world of darkness, right? So, Troy, you should change your avatar to Agent Cooper to match Netter's avatar. I hadn't thought about that. Maybe I'll do that for next week. But I forgot what the other thing was he said before Andy.
Rainforest.
Oh,
The
well-
interrogation of
yeah.
Not
Major Briggs.
Major
Briggs has a much bigger role, I think, than I ever realized going through the first two seasons. I don't think this is a spoiler because it doesn't really give anything away, but the final dossier is mostly written by Major Briggs. So we do get more insight into that Project Blue Rose and all the stuff that he was talking about in the episode today. You know, looking into space, looking into the woods at Twin Peaks, and so forth. The Black Lodge, the White Lodge, all of that kind of stuff. The disappearances. Because you know that the government is involved in this mystical kind of research, has been for a very, very long time. And he is basically one of the agents of the government, you know, involved in that. He knows more about it than... He actually, at this point, I think, knows more about it than Agent Cooper does. But he is more of a counterbalance to Wyndham Earle than Dale is. Dale is kind of like the Moby Dick to Wyndham Earle, whereas Major Briggs is kind of Earl's mirror reflection. And again, these are all my interpretations. Take them or leave them. I might be wrong. I might be right. You know, but, you know, I think that it helps for us to share our ideas because it helps us come to a higher understanding of these things. Welcome, Maria, with Tea and Telly. I'll tell you, Maria, you should really be hanging out with us more on Tuesdays. A lot of the lore in Twin Peaks, they take directly from Buddhism. They specifically refer to the Dungpas and whatnot, the mystical elements of Buddhism. So I think you would have some really great insights into this lore.
So what about Ben Horn, huh? His story is continuing.
We also got some great peeks into Twin Peaks, even into his past. Seeing those pictures of him from about 20 years earlier with the mustache.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of funny. But we're clearly moving that story along. I think we're going to be leading up to something with him and the Haywards and Donna and whatnot. There's going to be a payoff there. I was saying, I think I said before the stream in the backdrop, looking at these last 3 episodes again recently, I realized that for a show that ended after 2 seasons, well, put on indefinite hiatus, and although there are some cliffhangers coming, some major ones,
but not Major Briggs.
But not Major Briggs, right. It is gratifying to realize that there's actually a lot of storylines that get tied up before the end of the second season. They left less hanging than I remembered them doing. So
More with the puzzle box.
Maria is saying that she'd love to see more of these. She's getting ready to do her meditation right now. You know, that's David Lynch himself is very into transcendental meditation, has been for a long time, studier of Buddhism, and it's very clear that he's intentionally weaving all of that into Twin Peaks. Oh, okay, you're talking to Curtis there. Okay, sorry. So I'm sorry, Boomer. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say the puzzle box. We finally gets opened again.
Well,
Right.
with the rolling pin.
Yeah.
But now, what's the cylinder that's inside? Because
Yeah.
that looks like a puzzle as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of how would Wyndham Earl. I think we kind of know he's on a little bit of a revenge trip with Dale, and he's playing games with him, literally and figuratively. All of this is theatrics on his part, right? But we know he was obsessive about the Black Lodge, both from the scenes we've seen with him and Leo. Leo becomes the conduit for Wyndham Earl to monologue, right? So we can get his inner story, right? What he's thinking. But also seeing those tapes, those record tapes of recordings of Wyndham Earl and what he had found and whatnot. You realize he's obsessed with the Black Lodge. How to get into the Black Lodge. He wants to get into the Black Lodge. He thinks that it's a conduit to some kind of power for him. He wants to... he's playing with things he doesn't fully understand. He probably understands more than most, but... yeah. I mean, he's going to become an example of a little information is dangerous, and you could be ignorant and you can be stupid, but don't be both at the same time. And I think you're going to find out that's the case with Wyndham Earl. So this is going to sound like it's completely unrelated. I'm going to share a little bit of a story. Think of it as a parable. It's not directly related to Twin Peaks, but I'm getting at a dramatic theme here. So I was reading a book by Michael Moorcock many years ago. It was called The Warhound and the World's Pain. And the basic concept behind the story is that Lucifer, the devil.
Yes.
He's been cast out of heaven. He's, the prince of hell and whatnot. And he orchestrates things on earth that causes a particular mercenary to, things converge that lead him to a castle where he meets a girl and, blah, 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 and this and that. And it all leads to him meeting the devil. And the devil, appears to this mercenary, and he says to him, he reveals who he is, and, I want you to do something for me. Well, why should I do something for you? He's like, well, I may not seem very important to you as a living mortal, but you're going to die someday. And I'm going to be very intricately involved in your eternity. He goes, so you want me to sell you my soul? He goes, I already own your soul. You're already going to hell. And although I can't make sure that you get into heaven, I can promise you that when you die, you won't go to hell. He says, well, what does that mean for me? He goes, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But, it's probably better than going to hell. Okay, what is it you want me to do? He says, what I want you to do is I want you to find the Grail of Christ. He goes, I can't find the Grail of Christ. All the legends say that you have to be pure of heart to find the Grail.
Yes.
And obviously, if you own my soul, I'm not a candidate for finding it. He goes, well, think of the quest as purifying. Maybe by the time you find it, you will be, prepared for it. Okay, let's say I do this thing, and let's say I am successful in finding the Grail of Christ for you. Why do you want it? He said, well, I don't really want it for itself, but I'm hoping that by you getting the Grail for me, it'll get God's attention. See, right now I have no way to communicate with God. I'm cut off from him. But I want to get his attention because I want to repent. Anyway, interesting story. Why do I bring that up? Well, because there is this idea that people have that you can make a deal with the devil. That's a common trope in so many legends, right? Whether it's selling your soul or some other kind of bargain, fighting it out in court against the devil, for someone else's soul or whatever the case is, or even just the pure Christian concept of Christ paying for our sins and defending us from the devil himself. But there's another kind of story too, another kind of trope that you try to make deals with the devil. That's exactly what I was thinking about. The devil and Daniel Webster, for example, and Faust, of course, exactly. Those were the kinds of things I was thinking about. But more often, what I think is the closer to the truth is people try to make deals with the devil, and the devil says, ha, 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 yeah, screw you, and then devours your soul. I'm just going to leave that little parable and that little thought out there for you to chew on over the next couple episodes. Stephen, I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with that. Did we lose deleted scenes?
He's muted.
Snapple. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, folks.
Well, that was dramatic
right.
silence.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
There's going to be much to consider over the next couple of episodes, and of course, I'm sure much more when we get to season 3. All right.
And see, apparently Curtis knew exactly what I was talking about. I did not know this was part of a bigger series. I only ever read that one book. Completely not even knowing that it was part of a bigger thing. I've heard about, a lot of people have said, have you ever read Michael Moorcock? Well, I read The Warhound and the World's Pain. That's all I knew. And interestingly, the reason I read the book was because the cover art was so good. I was so enthralled with that. It's like a painting of, I didn't know it was the devil at the time, but I'm assuming that's what it was intended to be. A very cool depiction. And I was like, I want to see what this is about. It was a good book.
He's 84 now, the author.
Michael Moorcock?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Good on him. Yep. So that's all I got. I think I gave us a lot of lore to think about. I'd like to think so. I'm bucking for a raise here.
Yeah.
I'll give you a raise. You can have my paycheck next week.
Okay. Of course, it's all already spent, so.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of how it works, right?
But I get your paycheck every week, so.
That's true. I get the better end of that deal. Actually, Stephen, John brings up a great question. We should probably talk about that. I was going to actually bring it up in the backdrop, but as long as it's coming up in the chat, Are we doing Fire Walk with Me next, or one of the books? We can't really do well. I mean, we could talk briefly about the Access Guide to Twin Peaks, but we could do that at any time. That's not
What is
necessarily-
that?
If
Sound
you
like
imagine
Twin Peaks, the technical manual?
no, well, kind of. It's kind of like
yeah.
it's kind of like those travel guides you used to get, back when, before the internet, when you got books, a travel guide if you're visiting a place. It's kind of like that for Twin Peaks. It goes a little bit into some of the history and the locations, the sights to see, and whatnot. Might not be bad for us to talk a little bit about Twin Peaks as a town, give you some of that backstory from that. But I'm not necessarily thinking that needs to be the next thing after the last episode of Twin Peaks. I do think, I've been thinking, and tell me if you'd agree, Stephen, maybe we should revisit Fire Walk with Me before we jump into season 3.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we will be doing that. If not next, then fairly soon, and that'll probably be a longer night. Then it'll be the 2 hours or 2 hours plus. Let me think. We really can't go into the final dossier and the secret history of Twin Peaks until after season 3. That gets a little spoilery. Those are more like additional information at the end of season 3 when you're going, huh? Some of that could get very confusing, especially as we go into Fire Walk with Me. Let me think. What else?
Nate is asking, did Fire Walk with Me come out before season 3? Yes.
Yes. In fact, it came out immediately after season 2. Almost immediately after.
Yeah.
But it is a prequel. So one of the things we had talked about is we had considered the possibility of doing Fire Walk with Me first. But I think what we decided was we'll watch it in like release order, kind of the way we originally experienced it. In other words, like if we were going to do Star Wars, we'd do Star Wars Empire Jedi and then do the prequels rather than doing them in chronological order, for anyone that's, experiencing it for the first time. John says, I would like Fire Walk with Me. If not next, then soon. I always mix details of that movie with the events of seasons 1 and early 2. Yes, I understand why you would do that. So yeah, it'll probably be pretty close to next. I do think that we will. And this would be my suggestion. Of course, it's up to Stephen because it's your stream. But I was thinking after the last episode, rather than jumping right into Fire Walk with Me, we take a week, maybe 2, but at least a week to kind of look at some other material, right? We'll look at Beyond the Meanwhile. That'll be very brief. And then I will share with you guys the documentary on Flappy, the biopic about Flappy.
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
Maybe we'll look at another couple things, a little side jaunt, like we'll look at those Japanese coffee commercials, which in my headcanon are part of Twin Peaks narrative.
Is it like those Taster's Choice commercials? Like an ongoing narrative?
Yeah, kind of. At least the commercial, the way the commercials are put together, yeah. That's actually a very good analogy.
I remember those.
unlike the Taster's Choice commercials, you actually get a resolution at the end. You know, that narrative kind of, wraps up by the end of them. You never get that with Anthony Stewart Head and whatever the girl's name was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, did you remember that? That was Giles from Buffy.
Before Buffy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we'll always have Taster's Choice. Wasn't that always a thing in the commercials?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's like, instead of we'll always have Paris, right? I don't know.
Japan does have some good individual wrap flavors coffees. Yeah. And if you guys really want to, the commercials are out there on YouTube. It's for Georgia Coffee. You just look up Georgia Coffee Twin Peaks, and you'll find it easily enough. Yeah, Chris, I forgot he was in those commercials. Yeah. I heard that Flappy really liked his 16 years old single malt scotch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he did like to drink. That is true. That
the contract for his employment, I think.
He was difficult to work with. He really, really was.
That's because he's the best.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, exactly. But there you go.
Him and Peter Sellers, right?
Right, exactly. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. All right. Ladies first. Netter, what do you have coming up?
Oh, let's see. On Thursday, over on Thursday Things, my special guest would be Obnoxious and Anonymous. So I'm looking forward to talking to him about Twin Peaks, about their upcoming movie, and their fundraiser. And then let's see. Saturday is a Big L night, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Called
Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice. I was going to say Ice and Fire, so I was close. And of course, I'll be guest hosting on that, as well as guest hosting on Last Call with Troy Pichelli. That's it for me for this week.
Yep.
All right. Boomer.
This week I'll be on Last Call with Troy Pichelli and a special guest. And then Sunday we got Geeky Geezers, where we're going to talk about fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Actually, we'll do a retrospective on Roger Corman, too, so that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Troy?
Yep. As he alluded, we are going to be talking... and Storyman Jack, real quick.
Yes, Storyman Jack
lurking and working. Welcome, my friend. I will be hosting a very special Last Call. Really, because Boomer's been after me to do this. After we did that Indiana Jones retrospective, he wanted to do a James Bond retrospective. So I was just waiting on our returning subject matter expert, Michael French of Retroblasting. He'll be joining us on Friday for martinis and talking about James Bond. And yes, as Netter had mentioned, Saturday on Big Al's channel, we will be watching the Ralph Bakshi classic, or at least cult classic, Fire and Ice. And then, that Geeky Geezers thing, and, all the stuff that Deleted Scenes is going to be talking about now.
All right, yes, and I am going to be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. along with Jedi Bill for the Season 1 finale of Fallout. I'll be joining him again Thursday at 4:30 for Action Theater. Tomorrow, Thursday's movie will be The Great Escape. Then, of course, later on that night, after Thursday things will be the weekend update. Where I'm going to be letting everybody know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
All right. I would also like to take the time out to thank everyone who joined us on Twitter and Rumble. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. And I would also like to say hello, of course, to everyone who joined us here live into Chatting on Cosme today. FKHC 2005, Connie Cleary, Curtis Selby, JPRPH1, Dee Dee Myers Jr., Big Al Presents, Dadman Walking 55, Nate was here, Orville Nation, Putin's Cat, Maria Wittiantelli, and Storyman Jack. Oh, and of course, Lady Mist, who, Emoji Queen. Okay. Any last words before we close out the show?
Well, I can do my outro.
Yep.
Please.
Please make sure that you are sub to every member of the panel as well as every member of the chat on all of our streams, because Deleted has a stream open as well as myself, Troy, and Age Boomer. So please make sure that you are sub to every member of the chat as well, and double check that you're still sub, because YouTube sometimes takes those away, and that's really discouraging to see. And with that said, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun, but it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here. That is so encouraging. I love seeing you guys here on all of our streams every week. It's just so great to see all the familiar faces and then the occasional new ones, and how welcoming you are to those new faces or new names. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our family. Until next time, I hope that which will be Thursday on Thursday Things. Good night and God bless.
And don't forget to join us right back here next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for episode 28 of Twin Peaks. From HQ in all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win.
Was it seduction or illusion? Deception or murder? Nothing is what it seems in a town like Twin Peaks. Starring Kyle MacLachlan, Michael Onkeen, Laura Flynn Boyle, Sherilyn Fenn, and Joan Chen. And now you can fall back into the mystery, or begin your search for the first time every Tuesday night with a new episode hosted by a panel of superfans. Watch live for the audio commentary. No one is innocent